In this video, we'll look at how to take a loan against your Bitcoin. There's various ways to do this, and there's different types of platforms we can use as well. I'll go over all of them in this video and everything you need to know about them, and I'll leave timestamps for everything down in the description below. Firstly, we'll go over some of the terms that you'll need to know if you want to take a loan, and these are the same no matter which platform that you're using. Centralized platform, DeFi platform, traditional brokerage, which we'll get on towards the end of this video. It's all the same. So the first thing is collateral. Bitcoin is our collateral here. All of these platforms that we'll use, they're not banks, and they cannot create credit. They cannot create money and give it to you. And they cannot lend you money under collateralized, right? So a bank can give you a personal loan with no collateral whatsoever. These platforms cannot do that. They're not banks. And so we have to put value in Bitcoin on the platform, and then we can take a loan against that. However, we can never borrow more than the value of our Bitcoin. So this is known as over-collateralized lending. We have to over-collateralize our loan. So let's say we put $1,000 of BTC on one of these platforms. We can take a dollar loan against that, but only up to probably around $800, maybe $850. That's over collateralized because our loan is $800 and our value of our Bitcoin is $1,000. Over collateralized lending. That's how it works on these platforms. So the next step is LTV, which is loan to value. Loan to value of your collateral. So again, if my collateral is $1,000, then my loan to value is 80%, right? $800 of 1,000 is 80%. If I borrow $500, then the loan to value is 50%, and so on. Why is that important? Well, these platforms, the reason they want your Bitcoin here is in case you don't pay back the loan. If you take the money and just forget it. What happens if the Bitcoin price comes down? Well, they're going to start getting worried that the collateral that you put on the system isn't enough to pay back the loan in case you don't do it yourself. So loan to value, the highest loan to value that you'll get is maybe 80 to 85% loan to value, right? Which is probably a bit much with Bitcoin considering it's volatile. So the margin call LTV is when the amount that you've borrowed reaches 85% of your collateral value. Now that can happen if Bitcoin falls in price, right? Then the loan to the value of your Bitcoin is going to go up in percentage terms. So 85%, they'll start to send you a message and just say, look, we're really uncomfortable here. You know, your loan is quite a lot in comparison to your collateral value. We're uncomfortable. Can you either put more Bitcoin on the platform and to reduce your loan to the value of your Bitcoin, or can you just pay off your debt a little bit and then you're reducing your loan to the value of your Bitcoin? At 91%, so that means let's say you had $1,000 of BTC, your loan would be $910. That's when they just sell your Bitcoin and pay off your loan. They don't want, right, to get into bad debt. And so that buffer, that kind of 9% buffer is a buffer for them if the price is volatile, where they just say, look, we're not happy with this. We're going to sell the Bitcoin and pay back all of the loan that you took. And that's that. So that's your loan to value and your collateral. And you have to make sure that you manage this at all times and you're comfortable with the amount you're borrowing versus your collateral value. Crypto platforms are going to give you very high loan to value ratios, around 85%. The reason being is that Bitcoin is known as, pristine collateral, right? Because you can liquidate the Bitcoin to pay back the loan 24 hours a day. It's a highly liquid asset, right? And so they give you very high loan to value ratios because they only need a 10 to 15% buffer, which is fine because if it ever gets down into the red zone, they can sell Bitcoin and pay back your loan immediately 24/7, 365. However, should you be taking 85% loan to value? Absolutely not, because Bitcoin is a very volatile asset. Now, far be it from me to tell you what to do, but just to give you some information here, during bull markets, when the price is rising, the Bitcoin price regularly draws down 20, 25, 30% from its all-time highs. During bear markets, drawdowns have been anywhere from 90% to, in the last bear market, around a 75% drawdown. So if the Bitcoin price takes a 75% drawdown, what's going to happen to your loan, right? If you're taking a 50% loan to value at a certain price, the Bitcoin price can fall 50%. Are you able to put more Bitcoin in to make sure your loan doesn't get liquidated, your Bitcoin doesn't get liquidated, right, to pay back the loan? How are you going to manage that? So I'll leave that to you. I'll also leave these links down below. Glassnode, you can see the volatility of Bitcoin over time and everything like that. It's up to you to manage that. But just to think about the amount of loan that you'd want to take against the value. If the Bitcoin collateral falls in value, do you have more Bitcoin to put on there to make sure the loan doesn't get liquidated? Can you pay off the loan? That, you know, if you've borrowed dollars, can you just put some dollars back? That's up to you. I'll leave those down below. I'll also leave links to all of the centralized exchanges and other platforms that I talk about in this video down in the description. Most of them, the centralized exchanges, give good bonuses if you're a new user, trading bonuses, deposit bonuses. So you can see all of those details down in the description below. The next decision we can make is if we want to take a flexible rate loan or a fixed rate loan. And you can do this on centralized platforms now. DeFi platforms, most of these are only flexible rate. And I'll explain that in a second why that is. But on centralized platforms now, you can choose between fixed rate and flexible rate. So flexible rate loans, that's this one here. A flexible rate loan means that the interest rate that you pay on your borrowed dollars is flexible. So that is open to market supply and demand. The interest rate that you pay will change over time. The current interest rate to borrow dollars against Bitcoin on Binance right now is around 8%, 8.5%, as you can see here. That's an annualized figure. However, you get charged interest hourly. So 8% could go up to 10 or 12 or 15% because it's flexible. In a bull market, there's probably more demand, and so interest rates may go higher. In bear markets, you may see less demand, interest rates coming down, so that 8% could turn into 6, 5, 4%. You don't know, so you have to factor that in as well in terms of the interest that you may think you need to pay over the term of the loan. But the interest rate is flexible and the term is flexible, meaning that you can borrow dollars against Bitcoin right now and you can pay it back in 1 minute, or you can leave it running for 6 months, 8 months. It's totally up to you. Everything is flexible there. However, the interest rate is flexible, so something you have to keep in mind. Now, on some centralized platforms, they also give fixed rate loans. So we'll click on this one. And this is where you fix the interest rate. Now, because you fix the interest rate, you also have to fix the term of the loan, the time that you take the loan for. Because no one's going to give you a fixed rate loan for forever, right? Or for, you know, some uncertain period of time. So if you want to borrow, you can see here, we can borrow USDT. And we have a fixed rate loan of 4.7% and the duration is 30 days. Now, after that 30 days, you have to pay back the loan, or the Bitcoin will be sold off to pay back the loan if you don't pay it back. But that's a fixed rate loan and fixed term. So it's up to you what your borrowing needs are. Some platforms give both flexible and fixed rate loans. Now I'll show you how exactly to take a loan against Bitcoin on a centralized platform. You may have your favored platform. I'll just show you on OKX. But of course, we have the volatility of Bitcoin as a risk factor to the loan itself. We also, when using centralized platforms, have centralized platform risk. We're putting our assets onto this platform. We're actually giving custody of our asset over to the platform. That means if the platform itself has any issues, and we've seen it in previous bear markets where financial institutions, they go bust a lot. Right, even the biggest banks in the world have basically all gone bankrupt and bailed out. So financial institutions do go bankrupt. And if your assets are in there at the time of the bankruptcy, it's a big problem. So it's not just the risk of the loan getting liquidated, but centralized exchange risk as well, centralized platform risk. So only use the very top exchanges, the biggest brands with the biggest balance sheets that you trust. But still, there's going to be a risk here, right? But I'll show you on OKX. So we have a flexible loan here for OKX. And I want to loan $200, and the collateral that we're tying up is BTC. They're giving us an initial LTV of 76%. I can just click this and bring it down though. So I actually want to use a little bit more Bitcoin so that my loan to value is much less, 60% loan to value. That's fine. You can see the liquidation price of Bitcoin. That's if I never pay any of the loan back or anything like that. I'm going to have to liquidate the BTC at this price, but we can press borrow now. Like this, We can see all the details. We can see that the APR I'm paying is 5%. You can see all the loan to value details. This is when I get liquidated, which is 96%, which would be a Bitcoin price of 73,000. So I'm going to read the terms and then confirm. So I actually take the loan there. Now I have tied up my BTC and I've got dollars or USDT in my account now. We can go ahead and look at the loan itself as well. So I'll view the loan details and you should be able to see my Bitcoin tied up and then the dollars that I've got against it. So you can see here's the loan, here's the USD value. And what we can do is repay that as well. Now, over time, that is going to rack up some interest, but that's fine. You can see all of that here. And of course, if you want to pay back the loan, then you need USDT to pay it back. Or you can, of course, just not pay it back and they will liquidate the Bitcoin. But we're going to repay. And you can see with loan crypto or with collateral. So with collateral is Bitcoin. With loan crypto is the dollars that I just borrowed or the USDT. I'm going to press max here. I want to release my collateral as well. And I'm going to repay. You can see that here and continue, confirm. So that repays the loan. So then I repay the dollars and then I obviously unlock that Bitcoin now and I can use that Bitcoin. That's my property again and I can withdraw it from the platform. I'll leave links below to the platforms I use like OKX, Bybit, Binance. They have crypto loan platforms and you can get some bonuses if you're a new user via those links. But now I'll show you using DeFi as well, which is really the same thing. It's just that DeFi platforms are built on blockchains and the way that we access them is through a crypto wallet. So if you don't know how to use crypto wallets or DeFi platforms, I'll list video guides down in the description on how to get set up with wallets, how to get crypto in and out of them, and then specifically on Aave, a full feature guide for that as well. What's the difference here? Well, if you're using a blockchain, then you can't use real Bitcoin as collateral to borrow against. The reason being is that blockchains are different than Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is one blockchain, Ethereum is a different blockchain. You can't put Bitcoin on Ethereum, right? It can't happen. Now, I'm going to show you on Coinbase's network, which is Base, and that's not Bitcoin, and you can't put Bitcoin on there. So how do we borrow against the value of Bitcoin? Well, we have to borrow against a wrapped version of Bitcoin. And you can see this one here is Coinbase wrapped BTC. What exactly is that? You can't put Bitcoin on the Base network or the Ethereum network or any other network. So what Coinbase will do is they will go ahead and buy one Bitcoin and they will put it in their wallet and they will keep custody of it. What they also do is they issue, basically think of it as an IOU or a asset-backed token on a different chain. This is known as a wrapped token. So this Coinbase Bitcoin or CBBTC, it's backed by the one Bitcoin that Coinbase have in their custody. And as a user, you can go ahead and buy CBBTC, go back to Coinbase and redeem it for one Bitcoin. That's why one CBBTC will always be worth the exact same as one BTC because you can go and redeem it whenever you want. So that's how we get around not being able to put Bitcoin on another blockchain. We use a wrapped token. Now you do introduce custodial risk here. So you have to trust that Coinbase keep the Bitcoin. They won't lose it. Nothing will happen to it. So there is an extra risk there. But considering that most of the ETFs actually use Coinbase's custody as well, then maybe you can allow that. And of course, an ETF is basically a TradFi version of wrapped Bitcoin as well, right? It's a wrapped version for traditional markets. This is wrapped version of Bitcoin for DeFi. There are other wrapped versions of Bitcoin as well, but I'll just show you on Base to keep it simple. So we're on the Base network in Aave. I've connected my wallet and you can see here that I do have some CBBTC and the price is, or it should be, almost exactly the same as real Bitcoin as of making this video, and it should track it in the same value. So we can borrow against the value of this. Now, if you have a Coinbase account, you can go and buy Bitcoin. You can withdraw it from your Coinbase account using the Base network, and they will automatically wrap it for you into CBBTC and put it in your wallet. If you don't have a Coinbase account or can't get one, then you can go ahead and just buy a CBBTC on a decentralized exchange on the Base network, something like Aerodrome. Again, I've got videos for that. I'll link below. Not every exchange will have CBBTC that you can trade with. So you have to find one that does have it and then you can withdraw it into your wallet. So I've got some CBBTC, which is basically Bitcoin, right? The value of Bitcoin. It's not exactly real Bitcoin, but the value of Bitcoin. So what we have to do firstly is supply it into Aave because we have to put that collateral on the system first and then we can borrow against it. This is Coinbase wrapped BTC. we can see here that my wallet balance, it's showing that I've got a balance. So I need to supply first. So I'm going to supply the asset. We'll just put an amount in. We'll just put max. Now I'm actually getting a supply APY of 0.05%. So I get that. I earn that for supplying in the first place. So we'll go ahead and approve CBBTC. We just need to sign this transaction in the wallet. Again, if you don't know how to do this, video guides below for using Aave and wallets. So we can supply this. Once we've supplied into Aave, then we can borrow dollars against it. So I accepted that, and now I have to supply. And that should eventually be supplied. There you can see that is all done. So OK, close. And now what I can do is go back to the market. And because I have collateral on the system now, I can borrow against it. Now on the base market, we can borrow USDC, USD coin, so US dollar stablecoin. There's also EuroC if you want to borrow euros against it as well. The reason being is that once you have this in your crypto wallet, you can send the asset over to your centralized exchange and cash out into fiat currency. So you can do that with EuroC, you can do that with USD coin. So let's do USD coin, we're going to borrow. So you can see here available to borrow is around $72 worth. And that's because we have collateral on the system. So now I can borrow USDC. Let's say I want to borrow $50. You can see the health factor is 1.55, right? Because we're seeing a liquidation at under 1, right? So that's fine. If I have $70 of collateral, let's actually borrow a little bit less, right? You can see that the health factor is now a lot better. So I want to borrow USDC. That's all done though. So you can see I send the transaction, all done. You borrowed 30 USDC. Okay, close. So now in my wallet, what we should see is a balance, a lower balance of CBBTC and a balance, it's a larger balance of USDC. So I borrowed $30 and I got $34 in there. I had $4 before. So you can now see that that CBBTC is no longer in my wallet because it's in Aave as collateral, but I have this. Now this USDC, that's my loaned money. And if I want to, I can send that out of the wallet. I can use it to trade other things. I can do anything I want with it. That's my property because Aave has my CBBTC as collateral to liquidate in case I don't pay it back. Go to your dashboard here. You can see I've got CBBTC. This is the dollar value of it. And the borrowed money here, your borrows, USDC, $30, and I can swap or I can repay that to repay the loan, and then I can get the CBBTC and I can withdraw it from the platform. Depending where you live in the world, you may have different products and services offered to you with loans and different brands. I know in the US right now, Coinbase are offering Bitcoin-backed loans, and they're actually using DeFi under the hood. They're actually doing exactly what we just did on Aave, but they're offering you the simplicity of just putting Bitcoin into your Coinbase account, giving you a US dollar loan against it. They use Morpho, which is another platform on Base. They switch Bitcoin into CBBTC, use that as collateral to take a USDC loan, and then put the USDC into your Coinbase account, your centralized exchange account. That makes it easy to off-ramp if you need the money in a bank or somewhere else as well. So that's only in the US for right now though. There are also other ways to do this in TradFi as well if you don't want to get into the crypto platform stuff. You can go ahead and buy one of the ETFs. IBIT from BlackRock, Fidelity is FBTC I believe, and a few others. Just stick to the top ones. You can have the value of Bitcoin in your brokerage account. It's actually wrapped Bitcoin, right? So you have the ETF, it has a value of Bitcoin, and then in your brokerage, you can take a dollar loan against the value of your securities, pledged asset lines, something like that, where you have a value of IBIT, right? Wrapped Bitcoin in your brokerage account, they'll give you a dollar loan against it. But it's all exactly the same stuff. It's just in TradFi versus crypto, but it's up to you what you want to do. There is, of course, the way, if you're a massive whale, of just ringing your bank manager and saying, I want to buy $1 million of IBIT and give me a loan against it. I'm sure you know how to do that if you're a whale anyway. So they're the ways to loan against your BTC. All of the links that you may need will be down in the description. I'm James, this is MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.